so just like we looked at the converse, we're going to look at some negations now. So it's kind of plays into converse a little bit, but actually these kind of do some more flipping around, and maybe saying the word like doing the opposite. So kind of like opposite day. So first we're going to look at an inverse. So the inverse of a statement has the same truth value as the original statement. The inverse is basically just negates both the hypotenuse and hypothesis and conclusion. So by negating, I mean by using the word not or doing the opposite. So if it already has the word not in it, then you would make it be that thing. So you delete the word not. And so the contrapositive, so the converse, remember, flips it. The contrapositive, both the C's, it flips it and negates both of those. All right, so the conditional and the contrapositive always have opposite truth value. And equivalent statements have the same logical equivalence. So let's look to see how this works out with conditional statements. So the conditional statement is if today is Monday, then tomorrow is Tuesday. So we're going to practice all of these. So let's talk about if today is Monday, then tomorrow is Tuesday. That is true. The hypothesis, remember, is right after if. So the if today is Monday. And then the conclusion is after then. So then tomorrow is Tuesday. All right, so remember with the converse, you flip those two. So if today is Tuesday, or excuse me, if tomorrow is Tuesday, then today is Monday. So so now we're going to look at the negation of P, which is the hypothesis. So if today is not Monday. And then the negation of Q would be then tomorrow is not Tuesday. So the inverse are going to be those two statements put together. If today, if today is not Monday, then tomorrow is not Tuesday. So the contrapositive is going to read, if tomorrow is not Tuesday, then today is not Monday. So now the truth value of the contrapositive is true. So just kind of running through those again. The converse flips them. Okay. The inverse keeps them the same order, but makes them both not. And then the contrapositive flips and makes both of them not. Let's look at this second example. This one's a little tricky because in the conditional statement, it uses the word not. So if you don't stand for something, then you'll fall for anything. So you've heard that saying probably before. So the truth value of the conditional, I would say that's true. Then the let's circle the hypothesis and underline the conclusion. So the converse, remember, just flips those two. So if you fall for anything, then you don't stand for something. All right, so now we're going to look at the negation part of P, which is the hypothesis. So we're going to look at the negation piece. So if you do not stand for something, so that's really if you do stand for something. Or you could leave out the do. So if you stand for something, you could leave it at that. And then the negation of Q would be then you will not fall for anything. You could probably use the word won't for will not. Then I'm going to put those two together to make my inverse. All right. And then the last piece of this is going to be the contrapositive, which takes the inverse and flips it. So it is the original statement flipped and negated both pieces. So the contrapositive reads, if you don't fall for anything, you stand for something. So I kind of rewrote it just a little bit just to make it sound a little bit better. Forgot the word then. Okay, then you stand for something. So then the truth value. So if you don't fall for anything, then you stand for something. I would say that that's still true. So just kind of recapping here again, just reiterating the new vocabulary. So we have the new one is inverse. So that just takes the that negates both the hypothesis and the conclusion in that same order, and then the contrapositive negates both of them and flips it like the converse. The converse just flips it. Okay, so I remember these with converse and contrapositive both start with C, so they do the flipping part, and then the inverse just takes it and just negates it. So that's it for just these negations. So a big part of that is just understanding the vocabulary, but also making sure you pay close attention to reading those conditional statements.